Hey folks, this is the Botball coach. I'm bringing you a video about the documentation phase for Botball period 1. And if you haven't started yet, this is for the DC region. This is 2018, and this is very similar every year. I want to point out a couple things, and I want to show you guys how I'm scoring my team, the team that I'm coaching right now. I'm not going to give away too much information in that regards, but just want to go over things to just be aware of. Is that there's a rubric. There's also examples of how the the file should be laid out. What I'm going to go over right now is just how the rubric is used, or how I use the rubric to guide my students through documentation phase. So Botball does a great job setting up how the points break down. As you see right over here, minimum requirements. Your submission will score 0 points if it does not meet the following requirements. So off the bat, before they even consider the file, you have to meet all these requirements. Single file must be in PDF format. If you submit in a Word doc, 0 points. The file name needs to be period 1 PDF P1 project plan.pdf. So in a moment you'll see me open up a file that says that, and this all needs to be set up properly. So if you're not, if you haven't done that with your team, make sure you do that. The other thing to keep in mind of is what each student is going to do. I have a team of about 6 students, and every member is going to contribute. Whether they do a lot or they don't do a lot, everybody has to contribute some way, somehow. And some people are going to write more, some people are going to write less, but everybody contributes. What we are working on is sort of like a process right now, and we use Google Docs. So Google Docs does a lot of management for my team. So every person that goes in signs up what they want to do, what sections they're going to do. So as you can see right here, there are 30 items to cover. All right, so all the way down here, there are 30 items here to cover, and each one of these items also has points that are involved. So, for example, at the end, does not, does or does not include conflict summary plan. So everything has something involved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to just look for every single piece, and also grade my students and submit and send them what their current score is. There's about five or 6 more days before ours is due. Ours is due on the February 14th, and today, right now, as I'm posting this, is February 11th. So actually, that's 3 more days left, right? And that's what students like to do. Wait till the last minute to get some of the stuff done. But as a coach, the planning piece, I think, was the game was set out January 27th, 28th this year for 2018. So they've gotten about 2 weeks plus to work on it or think about it, but now they're going to be writing and putting it together. And so kids kids get busy, and that's what you're supposed to do as a coach, is that you're supposed to guide them, remind them, let them know that everything is their effort. Don't try to do the work for them. Make sure that they understand the importance of why each section is important that way, and that part of the template, why it's set up this way, is because we're trying to mirror, talking about, from coach to coach, or coach to parent, or coach myself to another student. You have to understand that there is a process of your audience. What does your audience want to see, read, understand? And you as the engineer, the person that's providing information, whether you're the person that's a technical documenter, has to be able to provide that level of clarity. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. I don't want to take too long. There's already, I want to make this less than a 10-minute video, but this is what the students so far have turned into me. Okay, it says your region, period 1, project plan, and goals task for 2017. So they've really dived in and provided a lot of dates. And what I'm seeing right here, I believe this is, they just copy and paste information from previous years to provide as template. So off the bat, I'm going to tell them, this is horrible. This is horrible. Just setup. I mean, they didn't clean up the document. They just went through and they just copy paste, and they need to clean this document up. You know, right now turning this in, 0 points, because if you remember right here, it says, you know, submit work cannot be duplicate of project plans for other teams at your school or within your organization. So the fact that I'm seeing all this right now, dates don't line up, right pseudocode, this is 0 points. Okay. Now, if I go ahead and I said, hey, look, you know, maybe there was a confusion. Where did the actual stuff start? Okay. Well, here you go. You know, we got names in here, and people, you know, should we remove what each person is going to do? Possibly. Okay. But this is a discussion I think everybody on the team needs to understand, and they need to make sure that they read through what the document says. I think overall right now what I'm seeing, starting at this point right here, I think where the double lines begin, I think that's where the project basically starts. Okay, so at this point we're at page 8, so sorry, page 5 of 8, and that's where we're going to begin. So page 5 of 8, scrolling down, and do they have a goals and tasks section, right? So if you look at it here, first thing, meets all minimum requirements. So this doesn't meet all minimum requirements. The number one, and I apologize if I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but just following the rubric at this point, does it meet all minimum requirements at this point is 0. Does it use standard punctuation and grammar? I'm pretty sure they're going to try. So from the periods that I see, I'm going to go ahead and give a benefit of doubt. I won't give them a full 3 points, but I'll give them 2 points. Okay. Number 3, submit includes header with your region. So what does headers mean? I'll probably have to go and coach and explain what that means, but based off of what I'm seeing right here from a header point of view, if that's the break in the documents, I don't see anything about, you know, what region this is. I'm in the DC region, so that's what I'm expecting to see up there. Greater DC region, possibly 2018. We have to double check what is expected, but I don't see any header information, so that's 0 right there as well. All right, number 4. Does it begin with goals and tasks for Botball 2017? I think that's supposed to be 2018, but let's go ahead. Does it say that? Goals and tasks section. Doesn't say 2000. Doesn't give a year. Let's see. What is it? Does it separate from the task? I'm going to go ahead and give them 0.5 off of this, so 0.5. You know, I don't want to take away full points, but you know, you got to follow through, right? Number 5, this section includes subtasks, goals, and tasks. Does it include subheadings as specified? All right. This section includes a subheading with the title of games, goals, and tasks separated from the text. And it may look like it. I would ask them to go back and look at their you know, their samples. I think they have the sample up here, and I think they're supposed to have subtopics like, you know, what are the rules, what are, you know, copies of game rules, you know, review all that information. So based off of what I'm seeing right here, starting down here at page 5, and then the example that was posted, it doesn't look like it. So, you know, I can't give points for that. Let me go ahead and put spaces right here so that this can be more spaced out. All right, by the way, you know, this is a very rough draft. But you know, they have limited time, and want to make sure that I really give them the full feedback what each one of these points mean. So if you're wondering, wow, it's like you're really giving true feedback. That's the whole point. If you don't coach to coach, don't pitter patter around. Let the kids know, let the students know what needs to be filled in, because all you're doing is you're setting them up for failure if you're not going to tell them exactly what they're supposed to do. So I'll go back and tell the students what they need to do. Right now, what they need to do is understand what they have to do, and then write it into a draft format so it can get reviewed as quickly as possible. Each one of the 3 goals includes a clearly defined target date. Oh, sorry. Under it is there are a minimum of 3 clearly identified goals. That was definitely not clearly identified, at least for me. And then where their target dates, I don't really see one. What I'm seeing right here that is provided to me right now is just an ongoing list of what probably everybody's going to do at when, at what time. And I told you, like, today is February 14th, February 23rd, and it just keeps going on and on and on. So this is not a setup of what deadlines and goals are. Remember, this section is all about goals and deadlines. Okay, goals and deadlines. So, or sorry, game goals and tasks with deadlines that the kids set up. I don't see that right now. Okay, so number 8, goals and tasks includes a minimum of 2 goals clearly. Nope, does not. Don't see that. So, that's a lot of points. That's 6 points right there. 0 points. Each task listed under each goal includes a clearly identified target deadline. So coming back to here, we want tasks, right? So, let's say, these 2 students go and attend Botball, Workout Kings and Robots and start a plan. Okay, great. But that's what they did. But what was the task that they were supposed to do? Was there, was this a task? Was it just go to DC Botball, work out the kinks, and start a plan? But what's the plan, right? So there's a point of, well, what was the original goal? And we definitely need to talk through that process. I'll probably have to handhold a lot more, depending on the age of the students that you're working with. Sometimes you can say, please verbalize it a lot better, and then other times you just say, hey, look, let me go ahead and provide you what you need to know, and shape and scope the conversation so that they can put that information in. Remember, as a coach, your job is to provide that guidance. You're not supposed to spoon feed them, but at the same time, you got to put enough breadcrumbs down so that they can follow your breadcrumbs and come to the conclusion themselves. Sometimes it won't be the exact solution you want, and that's okay, right? The kids, you want to build confidence for them to get into a, you want to empower them to make decisions. You don't want to have them always look over their shoulder to you or to somebody else for affirmation of their decision. Students need to be empowered, and that's the way I coach. Okay, so if you don't coach this way, I apologize that you might not agree, but with the way I coach, this is right now I'm gonna help some of these students and let them know what they need to write down so we can get into we can get this completed. But with that said, number 9, each task includes clearly identified target deadline, right? So for robotics, it's pretty simple, right? So I'll give you some very simple, easy ones to, for anybody to use. Each task listed on the game goals include a clear identified target deadline. Within first week of the workshop, come up with 3 designs for base, okay, or 3 designs for an arm. Students will vote by the 8th day, okay, or within 3 days of that, and the builder will build the arm, right? So, or come up with a strategy, vote on the strategy, and within 3 days, work together to develop the initial part, whether the base, the arm, or put everything together, start the programming process. So you got to have, what is the task, what is the date, and the more you can break down, the better. But I think for like a younger team, and just to kind of reveal a little bit, the team that I work with is like beginning, they're starting high school, end of middle school, and so this group, they're trying to get into a groove of what is, which part of robotics excites them, and all parts of robotics excites the entire team. What we need to try to do is break down that documentation phase. This is honestly one of the harder parts of robotics, which is documenting what people do. And so, with that said, this is not completed. Okay, this is not completed. Number 10. This section includes robot building goals and tasks. Clear subject text. All right, so robot building goals and tasks. Let's look and see if we can at least find that. They have a really big chunk right here. Robot building goals and tasks. Okay, we do have look at that. We have robot building goals and tasks. This looks great. This looks great. Here we go. That's full points right there. Robot building goals and tasks. So right there, number 10, full points, meaning you get 1. My God, but all your points up to this point, 1 through 9, that's where students should be scoring a lot of points. That's pretty straightforward. This section is pretty technical. So the students that worked on this, great job. Okay. Number 11, under the robot building task, there's a minimum of 3 clearly identified robot goals for your team. Let's go ahead and take a look. Are there 3 clearly robot goals? It does look like it. It looks like, 1, 2, 3. You got cameras, picking up blocks, picking up palms, drive around. Every single one of them has 2 dates as well. So they've got a start date. Okay, they have a start date and plan date. Okay, let's go see what these points are saying. Let's see, at least 3. So to me, that should be 3 points right there. I have to go back and read these points a little bit more, make sure that, but that looks great. Each of the 3 robot building goals includes a clear identified target deadline. Yes, that does. So number 12, full points. Number 13, each of the 3 goals listing includes minimum of clear identified minimum goals. I think includes a minimum of 2 clearly identified tasks for each of the 3 robots building goals. Let me just double check really quick. Attach camera, program camera to recognize color blocks. Okay, so I'm just briefly skimming through. So this looks really good. I'll give it full points right now, considering everything's put together. I think students are on right track for at least this section so far. Each task listed on the robot building goals clearly identify a target deadline. Definitely, I saw deadlines. So I'm going to give them 3 points for number 14. All right, number 15. Number 15. Programs goals. All right, program goals and task. Okay, so let's see. And I think that's the end of the section. Okay, so so right now, I'm going to be brutally honest with the team. Like you can see straight down, the rest of this is all going to be 0. So I don't need to write any more of that. But I just want to kind of cover, what are the main sections. Okay, you got programming and goal task section. Then you have a documentation, goals, and tasks. So, obviously they've been working on this. So, they should be putting out dates for that pretty easily. Then there's let me see over here. There's a schedule conflict, right? They should be talking about schedule conflicts. Then how is the team organized, right? Who does what? And this section will include a schedule meeting of your start time. Start of the project to the day of the regional tournament. So, honestly, section 28 is done. All right, there was, so I'm actually going to give section 28 some points right here, not all points, but I'll go ahead and give them 4 points, because if I go back and I look closely, so I'm trying to give them points where they can get points, but you can see right here, right, they told me dates, right, all the way out to when the competition. So our region is going to be April 7th in the DC area. So if you're in the DC area, come out and check out our competition. I think we have 20 plus teams, and my name is Chuchun. I'm one of the the area Botball coaches that been doing it for a long time now, and I love providing feedback to students and providing guidance on do robotics. I love Botball, and you can see that because I'm doing this video to hopefully help other students out wherever you are, all over the world. Please reach out to me. Let me know what you need to improve or provide feedback on. But just to follow through now, number 29, this section includes an outline of the division of labor within the group of students. I saw a little bit of it, so I'm going to give them like 1 point, right? So, meaning that, if you just kind of like go through the video again, you'll see that some people's names were mentioned, like what did this person do, so there's acknowledgement that somebody's going to do something, but there's not a clear identification. What does each student do, or what is each participant member is doing, and they need to go back and filter that out. Okay, this section will include a summary of how your team will handle conflict resolution when disagreements or problem arises. Okay, so with that said, I think we didn't see that, so 0 points. So we add this all up. We go ahead and add this all up. All right. 2 plus 0.5 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus I'm messing this up. I should just add it really quick in my head. 2, 1, so 3, 6, 8, 14, 17, 22, 22.5. I think it's about 22.5. Okay, so right now 22.5 is their score out of 100. Definitely room for improvement. Putting in the titles, explaining, understanding it, and then I know their score will definitely improve. But this is my feedback to them, and for everybody else that is in Botball 2018. Good luck. I'll be posting some videos to help out all teams, and hopefully I'll see you guys at the competition. Might consider go to GSER this year, but just all have to consider the just the my summer schedule. But with that said, here I'm the Botball coach, and good luck.